Welcome back, everybody. Hot Mic rolls on this Friday morning. WDAY Extra, KSFL TV in Sioux Falls, Inforum.com. Tyson Ward, former Bison Hoop standout, join us at about a half hour. NDSU football opens fall camp, crazily enough, less than 2 weeks. Looks like, on paper, that the 2025 commitment class may be pretty close to done. They're up to 29 members after the most recent announcement that happened just a couple days ago. NDSU's had a tremendous pipeline out of St. Michael Albertville. Former Bison great, Hall of Famer Jared Essler is the head coach of the Knights, and the next player heading up this way joins us this morning. Sam Anderson, a linebacker who, coming off a crazy injury, which we'll get to in a second, announced his commitment to the Bison. He joins us here on Hot Mic. Congratulations. I know we were visiting off air. It seems like things have calmed down, but just tell us on the decision. Oh, I'm always interested on this. Why NDSU? What stood out about Fargo and the Bison? This is where you wanted to go to school.
Firstly, just like the family, the great culture there. And then secondly, I love Coach Olson and believed in me. And it was just an easy decision for me with all the people that are there in the facilities. And it was just an easy fit.
How early on, Sam, had you heard from NDSU?
Pretty late, actually. I mean, like I said, breaking my arm and not playing junior year, the whole recruiting process came kind of late, not until really December of this past year.
You mentioned it, so let's dive right in. You're about this time last year, you're playing baseball, and take us through what happened.
Yeah, just playing baseball, pitching, fourth inning, and I threw a pitch, and my humerus in my arm snapped completely. Crazy fluke injury, not see it coming.
So that happens. Tell me the immediate aftermath. I mean, you're holding your arm. Where do you go? What happens from there?
I mean, I wasn't really what was going on. I mean, my arm hurt. It was dangling, and I was trying to. They rushed me to the hospital, and we got X-rays and clear break.
So, are you thinking like sports is over? Or what do the doctors tell you on there? I'm sure you had every thought going through your mind.
I mean, immediately I wasn't sure the severity, if I would be getting surgery, not surgery. Would I play football? Would I play baseball again? Just immediate, like, what's going to happen kind of questions. But eventually it all worked out, and that we got, like, what's going to happen, and the rest is history, you know?
So you have to have surgery. You told me you had how many screws are put in your shoulder?
5 screws.
Holy cow. But that also means football is done last fall. How difficult was that to process and to swallow? Like, okay, everything I want to do, I'm not going to be able to do this upcoming year.
For sure, hurt a lot immediately, and I think as time goes on, it got a lot better, and I just had to be there for my team and support them. And I mean, I practiced a little bit towards the end, but yeah, just being there, being supportive, cheering my team on was something I had to, overcome and deal with.
What does rehab look like? I mean, what are you doing? How do you get strength back? What did you end up doing?
I actually had little to no physical therapy because I immediately had almost complete range of motion. So it was just kind of working back up with strength wise, like starting with 15 pounds on the bench and slowly working up until I felt comfortable.
That's wild. So because it was a clean break, is that why that was the case?
I'm assuming so. I couldn't tell you why, but
we'll play doctors here on TV for a second. That's okay. So how much was the recruiting heating up after your sophomore year and feeling like, okay, something might happen? And then did you feel like, okay, everything just stopped because you got hurt?
Really, there wasn't much. Surprisingly, yeah. I mean, if you would ask me what I'd be doing in college a year ago today, I probably would have told you college baseball. There's just no really attention for me in football, so I didn't really have any plans or aspirations to do that. So it was kind of a curveball when it came in December.
So I was going to say, how wild is it then you're going to play college football?
It's been a little bit of a 180. Just the first time that one of those schools came to my school to talk to me, it was kind of like, wow, this is real. Like, did not see us coming.
You're going to play linebacker. Tell us about that and the transition now for college football and just what you did? You came up here for camp. What do you think you did up here to really open NDSU's eyes to say this is some guy we got to take a chance on?
I'm new to the position. I haven't played linebacker since I was a little kid, so I think they just saw the athleticism and I worked hard. I guess and they felt like they saw the potential and they could mold me into the player that they want.
So when you leave, you got a call, say, "Hey, we'd like to take you." I mean, what was the reaction when you told your mom and dad about that?
It was pretty surreal. I would imagine this would be something that I would be doing or going into. So it's kind of just an amazing moment for me and my family.
So I know you had you visited a few other schools. What about NDSU said, this is where I want to be?
Immediately just the first one that's believed in me. And that's stuck with me for a while. And I like the coaches. Like I said, I love the coaches and I love the facilities, all brand new. And it's been an amazing spot to be.
So now, getting ready for fall camp, you're going to start in a couple weeks. I got to imagine you're probably just going to rip the door off to start when fall camp opens, right?
Oh yeah, I got it. I'm playing quite a few positions, so I'll be busy. I'll be running around the field.
Coach Essler was telling me that. So for people at home, where are you going to be playing on the field this year?
Running back, receiver, and strong safety.
So you're not taking any plays off. Well, you had a whole year off, I guess, right? So you gotta make up for it.
I gotta make up for it. Yeah.
I've talked frequently with other players from the Twin Cities. Tell me about that group. You're going up against other Division I guys almost you're going to be going up against future teammates now almost on a weekly basis. Yeah. What's that like?
It's gonna be fun. It's obviously when it's game time, it's game time. But after the fact, it's gonna be fun to talk and meet some people that'll eventually be my teammates. It'll be a fun, interesting process.
To have this over and done with, does it feel like you mentioned? It's almost surreal that you're going to be playing football, but now that it's done, I mean, has it clicked in yet? Does it feel like okay, this is happening?
A little bit, but a little bit not. I think still got ways to go. It still hasn't really hit me completely that this is real.
Did you celebrate yet or not yet?
A little bit, not not to the full extent.
To play linebacker, what makes that such a good spot for you? Why do you feel that's a spot? You mentioned you haven't done it in a while, but why do you think that those traits of that position fit you so well?
I think it just fits like how I move. I mean, I move pretty good laterally and like back and forth. And I think Coach Olson's side group, like footwork and movement that some other kids didn't have at this position. I still got a lot of weight to put on, but if I could do that, then I feel like I can be a good fit at the position. A
couple questions left. Did you end up pitching baseball this year for high school, or did you take that off?
I did. I did come back. I pitched one inning, so I practiced all year, and I played all year. I DH'd all year in high school, and then I eventually got one inning in at the end of the year.
What was it like to be back on the mound? Were you hesitant about it? Were you excited? A little bit of both.
To be there. I'd been waiting all year. Like I'd wanted to pitch, just hadn't really felt ready yet. So when I finally got the call and I was ready, I was just ready to go. And whatever happened. It was fun.
Well, I appreciate the time and thanks for giving us the backstory on that. I hope you enjoy the last couple of weeks of summer because it sounds like you're going to be busy during the football season. I appreciate the time. Congratulations and have a healthy year. We'll talk soon. Okay.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you for having me.
Sam Anderson from St. Michael, Albertville, newest member of the Bison class of 2025. And I got this message earlier from Jared Essler, former Bison great, and he shared this with me, that he had a great sophomore year for us as a running back. Missed all of last year with a broken shoulder. He threw a pitch in baseball, as Sam just mentioned, July 2023, had a bad luck break. Freak thing, healed now, and he's moving great. Grant Olson says he plans to play him at Sam linebacker. This is what he told Jared. He'll play strong safety for us on defense this fall and running back and some wide receiver on offense. Real humble kid, can be soft-spoken. His older brother, Gabe, wrestled at the University of Mary. So there's some ties already to the state. So we appreciate the intel there from from Jared, who's one of the all-time greats. Love visiting with him. And he sent some dynamite players up this way. And he's hoping Sam will be the next in line of that for the class of 2025. As I mentioned before we brought him on, Bison now are up to 29 guys. Now, that doesn't mean they're going to get them all. The vultures are going to be out between now and December 4th, which is the early period for National Signing Day to start. But they got to feel in a good spot what they have. And with football seasons beginning around the country in various states, North Dakota and Minnesota are just a few weeks away. North Dakota starts earlier than Minnesota does. But once the practices begin, guys want it done. You've heard it more often than not. Guys want their decisions out of the way, don't want to worry about it, don't want to think about it. And that typically, once we get going, football recruiting stops because the coaches are worried about coaching the team, the current one. And they look like they've done their homework here. Like I mentioned before, and we got to go to break, this is the most I can ever remember. In the Division I era of covering recruiting like I have, they've never had this many. Never. This is a full boat on July 19th. It's impressive. And you've met more than half have been on the show. We've probably been over 20 of the guys that have been on the show. All very impressive. And we appreciate Sam's time here this morning. We'll break. We come back. Update on Tom Hoagie at the Open Championship over in Scotland. He's going to play the weekend for the first time at the British Open. We'll do that and wrap up hour one of Hot Mike on this Friday. Back after this.